All right, this week's design is part of my February self-care get back to my normal routine. This is a really big rock that I had from my mom's yard that I've had prepped with spackle and Mod Podge for months. And I haven't done anything with it, so I'm giving it a coat of Liquitex gesso and white paint to get us started. And I had the back of it primed with black paint, so I'm going to clean up the lines between the white paint and the black paint and just give kind of a clear edge all the way around this rock. Now we're going to get out some washi tape and we're going to create some just kind of random crisscross lines across this rock. And again, you can see kind of how large it is by the size of the rock compared to the size of my hands. So I'm just going to put this tape on, and this is going to create kind of a protection so that we have some white showing through on the background of what gets painted on the larger part of the rock. Now my color scheme is going for a galaxy look, so I'm going from dark blues to purples to a little bit of pink and fuchsia in here. And I'm starting out by just kind of dabbing the paint on, and then I'm going to use some makeup sponges. They're really easy to get a hold of at Walmart or Amazon, and I'm just going to dab onto that wet paint to kind of blend it in. And then I'm going to just back and forth, start adding colors, going with the blues, the pinks, the purples, and just kind of blending it in. And the look I'm going for is kind of a night sky with some sort of colorful highlights in it. So think post sunset, where you still got a little bit of that pink and purple showing through, but it's dark. And I think of this part of the process as kind of like the warm up to a workout or the loosening up. So there's no perfect way to do this. It's supposed to be imperfect and kind of messy, and just you can just kind of keep dabbing and going back and forth with the colors until you're happy with how it looks. So I experiment, and you'll see me go from one square to another one, back and forth, and just kind of playing around with the different colors and the different directions that I apply the colors. So this is for all my perfectionists. This is the one that's going to help you let it go. Just release it and be messy with it. And I promise the end result's going to be really fun. I'm also not worrying too much about that black edge, because I'm going to come back with a paintbrush and some black paint at the end and clean that up. So these paints are all lighter than that, so I know it's not going to hurt to overrun onto the black part of the rock. Now I'm going to grab that washi tape again, but I'm going to use it for a stencil. I'm using my soapstone pencil from Happy Dotting Company, and I'm going to trace the outside of the washi tape and then also the inside of the washi tape to get two different size circles all over the rock. And you can see that I'm sometimes extending onto the tape, over the tape, sometimes not at all touching the tape, and that's on purpose. So just kind of randomly placed circles of different sizes all over the rock. Now I'm going to take my white Uniball Signo gel pen. You've seen me use these a couple of times before, but they're basically like fancier versions of my Sakura gel pens. And I'm going to trace over my circles. So basically these circles are going to be planets in a galaxy. And sometimes you can't go over the gel immediately after, like to try and thicken up the line, or you'll pull up the gel with it. So you have to kind of wait till it dries, and then you can come back and kind of fill in any spots that are missing. The thing I like about these pens is that they are very, very smooth. So I use these in the New Year's rock design with the traceable treasures that I shared with you guys, but they're very smooth. So even though this is a natural stone that, you know, has been prepped with the spackle to kind of smooth it out, but these roll quite nicely and they give a pretty thick line. So nice bright white colors. The only danger is that you have to be careful as you can't run glitter paint over the top of them or they will smear. Unlike a Posca pen that is acrylic paint, you could put glitter paint over it and it would be fine. Now, after tracing those circles, I'm going to start making some kind of constellation shapes and some little star shapes. And don't come at me because these constellations are not accurate to what exactly exists in the solar system. They are not at all accurate. I was drawing shapes that I liked and adding some little dots to them, so don't come after me that it's not astronomically accurate, if that's a correct term. But I'm also adding some rings around some of the planets and some craters and just some kind of design work on the planets, but just kind of filling in some of that open space and adding just kind of galactic little shapes. And now I'm going to come in with my toothbrush. Don't hate on my toothbrush. This is my paint toothbrush. And I'm going to add some white paint to this toothbrush with a normal paintbrush, just kind of dabbing it on there. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to use my thumb to kind of spray the paint all over the design. And what this does is create a really fine spray of the white paint that's like stars in the galaxy. It's a really fun way to do it. It's a little bit messy, ends up with paint all over my fingers. It's a little messy, but it really gives a cool effect. I really like this. And remember, I said I was going to come back with some black paint and clean up that black line. That's exactly what I'm going to do right now before we peel the tape off, is just kind of straighten that out, make it nice and crisp where the, you know, galaxy colors kind of overflowed onto the black. And now comes the most satisfying part of the whole video. We get to peel the tape off nice and slow and reveal that white background that's behind in our galaxy design. So there are a few little pieces of the white paint that are pulling up, and that's okay. I'm gonna come back and correct those as well. But I love peeling washi tape up from a design when I do this and paint over it. It's just so fun to watch those crisp lines come to life. I'm going to come back through really quickly with a disposable eyeliner brush, some Liquitex gesso and white paint, and correct any of those little areas where the white paint came up, or you can see some of the spots where some of the galaxy colored paint leaked under the washi tape. And then I'm going to grab a black gel pen, same type, the Uniball Signo, and I'm going to extend some of those designs. So like if there was a circle that went over the washi tape, I'm now taking the black pen to fill in that part of the design on the white space on the rock, so that you've got some of these designs have black and white to make the shape. So this is the real fun part of the design, is watching it come to life and kind of cross these two lines from the galaxy to the white space. So, and then I'm filling up the white space with more of the stars and more of those constellation lines, so they might be independent or they might be connected to some of the white space. Now I'm going to take some violet blue green dragonfly glaze, which is a very fine glitter, and I wanted to add some kind of highlight lines all over the galaxy because this just adds a cool sparkle. So I was just kind of going around some of the shapes and some of the shapes of the rocks, some of the shapes of the lines, and then I realized, no, I need to cover all of the galaxy with this. So I came back in with a disposable eyeliner brush to fill in all of the nooks and crannies, which was a little time consuming, But it was worth every second that I put into this, because once I got resin on it, look at how our galaxy is sparkling. Totally worth the extra time that it took. Thanks so much for stopping by for some of my rock painting relaxation. I would love to know if you're going to try this design, maybe with different shapes or different colors. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Take care.